Let's talk about the other team in South Florida.
Okay.
The Orlando Magic.
Okay.
How
now,
do you feel about this team, Travis?
This is not purgatory with these guys. And I pat myself on the back on this show for the Magic.
Yes.
I mean, people around here at Nesson were calling me Mr. Magic last season because I made so much money betting on this team. Futures, I had a ticket on over for their win total. I had a ticket for them to make the postseason, which everyone told me I was nuts at the time when I made the bet. I believed in this team from the beginning. I bet them in certain spots throughout the season on the money line for upsets. They came through for me. I would bet Paolo in terms of player props. I was making all kinds of money messing with Paolo.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I am Mr. Magic. I was ahead of this, and I was right. But caution, buyers beware.
Okay.
When young teams, Tay, and you know this.
Yes.
This happens in all sports, not just the NBA. When young teams succeed and they get a taste of success.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, now you have two different paths you can go down. Path number one, which happens, is they taste success and they sort of buy into their hype and they think we've made it, and then they regress and they're not as good. They're not as focused. They're not as hungry. They're not as something. Something's off. Guys start to get paid. Things happen. And they can't handle the success, and they go the opposite way. The other path, which is what I think the Magic will do, is you taste the success and you say, I want more. I'm ready to level up.
Yeah.
That was fun. I know we're young, but now it's our time. Go out, get a veteran who's been there, who's done that, who's won before in KCP. Hey, man, I was looking at this. I didn't even believe this to be true. I just knew they were young. I didn't necessarily think of the ages.
Yes.
Paolo's only 21. Wagner's 23. Jalen Suggs is 23.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, they play real defense.
They do.
Jamal Mosley can coach.
Yeah.
I think the Magic, here's my bold take for their season.
What's the bold
Because
take?
I'm not gambling on them as much this year.
Yep.
Because expectations are there.
Okay.
But I believe the Magic this season can be the Pacers of last season. Meaning
what?
they take a significant where all of a sudden we all looked up and we're like, the Pacers?
Yeah.
I think the Magic, if you told me, I don't know, the Knicks were the Knicks. They're too injured. They kind of fizzled out down the stretch. They get knocked off.
Yes.
The Cavs underachieved because, Cleveland.
Yes.
The Pacers sort of regressed.
Yes.
Dame gets hurt. Giannis can't carry it by himself. The Sixers get beat by the Heat or something. Someone upsets them.
Yes.
And you told me somehow, some way, it's Boston, Orlando in the Eastern Conference Finals, Tay. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
I would not be shocked. I'm not betting on it. I'm not, I'm out of that. I've made my money. I'm out like a thief in the night, baby.
Yeah.
But I think the Magic will take that next step. I believe in this team.
Okay.
I really do.
So the Pacers and the Magic ended with the same record last season. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you're saying jump.
Yeah.
I want to know, will this team finish in the top 3 in the East? Since you're willing to say jump.
Ooh, no,
Top
I'm not,
3.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I would still, obviously, Boston.
Yep.
Even though those teams I named and I painted a picture of them getting upset, I would still put New York ahead of them. I would put Philly ahead of them. But, hey, now you can have some conversations. You can. I think they're 4 seed, 5 seed. They're right there.
I think I'm willing to jump on that ship. I'm not even going to lie to you. I think I'm ready to jump on the Orlando Magic finishing as a top 3 team in the East. Woo. Now, we know every single year there's a team, whether it be in the West or the East, that we look at in the standings and we say, hey, why is that team up there?
Right.
That was OKC last year. That was Minnesota last year.
Absolutely.
That was Kings one year.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We looked up and we're like, this team's a top 3 team?
Right.
That was Memphis one year. They ended up top 2 in the West one year.
Yep.
And we were like, what? This team? I think with them adding KCP
I love
and
it.
having this same roster that you said is young, is now a year older. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Going through the playoff experience that they went through, going through a tough battle with a healthy Cavs team. They had to face a healthy Cavs team.
Right.
And lost. You know what I'm saying?
They gave them hell.
But they surprised a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think it's time for them to take a leap. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, the Boston Celtics aren't going to be the team that's going to make it, or the Knicks or whatever. The season is what it is, right?
Sure.
People are going to get hurt. Everyone's healthy right now, but people are going to get hurt. Dudes are going to have excuses.
Yeah.
Coaches may get fired like the Bucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Last season. That will happen, and it will be unexpected. But I'm willing to hang my hat on this. The Orlando Magic will be a top 3 seed in the East this season.
That's a bold. Hey, by the way, we haven't talked about this. I brought it up, but there is also a world where they take a step back.
There is.
I would say this: if we're both wrong
Yes.
about them elevating, and they take a step back,
Yes.
as long as they can get in the postseason, Ountae, this is a dangerous group.
Dangerous. Very.
And especially, they might be better off not doing what you're saying. And I know that sounds nuts, and a Magic fan,
Yeah,
like, what are
yeah.
you talking
You might be
about?
right. Yeah.
But if all of a sudden you're a 2 or 3 seed in the East and the expectations are there,
Yep.
you know, I mean, you could be set up for failure, right? For some disappointment.
Could be.
But if they sort of take a step back in the regular season,
Yes.
and they're, I don't know, that play in or 8 seed or something or 7 seed, that might help them to get in and to knock off one of those top teams. And,
Yes.
a young team getting that confidence in them.
Yes.
I mean, they could go on a playoff run. It'll be a team. I hear you on the regular season side.
Yes.
They'll likely, as far as bets, I'm not going to do any futures after, I just pulled a caper on the sports books betting on the Magic and being right on them.
Yeah.
So what I want to do now is sort of sit back, watch it play out.
Yeah.
I will tell you this: if they're healthy and they get in, they will be a team I'll be betting on in the playoffs. I lost money once we got to the playoffs because I thought they were going to beat the Cavs, and they damn near did.
Yeah.
Remember that series because we broke it down here. I mean, they were playing championship level defense.
They were.
They couldn't score. They didn't
couldn't.
have another consistent scorer other than Paolo.
Right. And I think Caldwell-Pope adds that.
I do too.
You know,
and
I
a guy
think-
who's been there, done that on that stage.
Exactly. They have a lot of great talent on their team. You talked about them: Jalen Suggs, KCP, Wagner's,
Bro.
Bank. You know what I mean? Anthony Black, Gary Harris, Caleb Houston, John Isaacs. All
They paid
those guys.
Wendell Carter.
Cole Anthony. You know what I mean? Corey Jones,
Carter.
a good vet.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about this. Yeah, you brought him up. Wendell Carter. He obviously just signed that extension. What do you think about that deal? 3 years, $60 million.
I don't think anything of it other than if you look, I kind of see how they're building their team. I guess is would be my answer. He's not, I don't want to be disrespectful to the guy. I like him, but
Yes.
he's not moving the needle. However, if you look at what they've done, so we all know, we can see it with Paolo.
Yes.
He's going to get paid. I think he's due next year, if I'm not mistaken. But Wagner's already got paid. They pay Wendell. All their frontline players are locked up for the future. They're under contract.
Yeah.
So what that tells me is, okay, they're committing to sort of building around their guys,
Yeah.
Wagner and Paolo.
Well, it's Orlando. It's not a free agent market. You know what I'm saying? So they have to do that.
True.
And they're doing it. So they're doing the right thing.
It's smart.
Yes.
Then it's good business.
They're doing things the right way.
It's good business. And that really, 3 years, $60 million for a guy who hasn't really tapped into his ceiling yet.
Yeah.
I think it's genius.
Yeah.
In the NBA, that's a bargain.
It is. It is. Especially for a guy who continuously gets better every single
That's
year.
what I mean.
I feel like more people know his name every single season. Every time I go up to a new friend, I'm like, hey, you know about Wendell Carter? They're like, oh, yeah, that's the guy in Orlando. He does good things.
Yeah.
So
he can play.
He can play. 100% with you. Shout out to the Magic.